Hello, on tonight's programme.
An accident waiting to happen. Campaigners in Thame call on lorry drivers to slow down.
There's so many kind of instances where you feel that there's going to be an accident if nothing's done, really.
All the blinds gone, the windows cracked, the ceiling plaster is all starting to come down.
The simple things that could save lives. Warnings from firefighters in Berkshire to test your smoke alarms.
Also tonight, the Andover branch of Talking Newspapers, a lifeline for blind people for 50 years. And
honestly, it'd be dead good. I'm going to do that move. You know that move where you do all the fancy cuts and then you flick one card from the left and then you catch it in the right and it's Simon's card.
Britain's Got Talent trickster Jack Rhodes joins us in the studio ahead of his show in Newbury. Good evening. People living in an area of Thame in Oxfordshire say large lorry traffic in the town is putting lives at risk. They're calling for drivers to slow down and for vehicles to use alternative routes.
well, one person who lives near an industrial estate has raised concerns for dog walkers and the safety of children who attend a nearby school.
The local MP has promised to work with the council to look at the issue. With more, Juliet Fletcher.
It was a busy morning in Thame, with lorries and HGVs passing through, a sign of a thriving economy. But residents here, like Thomas Pote, who lives close to an industrial park, says more needs to be done to keep school children and pedestrians safe.
Especially at this time of the year, where it's dark, past 4 o'clock. The streets aren't particularly well lit either, so, the speed at which some of these vehicles come down, in wet weather as well, you just have to be on your guard all the time. I've seen occasions where dog walkers have had close shaves with vehicles travelling down here. There's so many kind of instances where you feel that there's going to be an accident if nothing's done, really.
And others, like Roger Clark, who lives on the Thame Road, would like to see HGVs rerouted, bypassing the town.
My house is 150 years old, and when the bigger lorries come past, you can feel it vibrating. But that's not the real point. The real point is that this road is not suitable for these very large lorries, the big articulated trucks. It's a B road, and it was never constructed for that purpose.
Most town centre roads already have a 20-mile-an-hour limit, including Park Street, where a primary school is. But residents are also concerned about road damage and manoeuvring lorries. They're supported by their MP.
So I'm going to be talking to a lot of the local businesses so that we can have conversations around how we can perhaps move and make tweaks to how HGVs move around the town. Hopefully then we'll see an improvement so that residents and businesses get along and can work together.
We contacted Oxfordshire County Council about this, and they said that the safety of all road users is of the utmost importance to them. In a statement they said Oxfordshire County Council is committed to working with local stakeholders and reviewing the current road infrastructure, speed limits, weight restrictions and HGV routing affecting Thame and its surrounding access roads. And they added they're looking forward to working with the local community on this.
The Road Haulage Association said it takes residents' concerns seriously and welcomes dialogue on what can be done to make the roads safer and more efficient for the communities and businesses who depend on them. Juliet Fletcher, ITV News, Thame.
The Duke of Marlborough has appeared at Oxford Crown Court charged with strangling his estranged wife. Charles James Spencer Churchill, a relative of Sir Winston Churchill and Diana, Princess of Wales, faces 3 charges of intentional strangulation against Edla Marlborough that are alleged to have happened between 2022 and 24. He was granted conditional bail with a provisional trial date set for January 2028.
Hospitals across Hampshire continue to face significant pressures after a fire at Southampton General. Flames tore through the endoscopy unit on Sunday. A major incident remains in place. More than 200 patients were moved to nearby hospitals, including Winchester and Basingstoke. The Hampshire and Isle of Wight Integrated Care Board is urging people to seek care outside of hospital where possible.
All of our services are incredibly pressured. So we're asking people to not visit if they're unwell. There are certain restrictions if there are areas that we are concerned about. But most importantly, all of our services are open and available, but we're asking people to use our services in the most efficient way and make sure that if they can be managed outside of a hospital, they absolutely are.
Millions of people are risking their lives by not testing their smoke alarms.
Research shows the majority of people do check them, but Royal Berkshire Fire and Rescue says even 1 in 10 not making sure their alarms are working is one too many. With more, James Webster.
All the blinds gone, the windows cracked, the ceiling plaster is all starting to come down.
Assessing the damage from a fire that Jamie Warden knows he and his family were lucky to escape from.
We did have a gaming chair which we got for Christmas for one of my children. That went up because that was right next to the couch. The TV melted off the wall. But the main thing is it contained to that area.
And this, the smoke alarm that potentially saved their lives, waking Jamie and his wife at 3 a.m, giving them time to escape with their 2 children.
If we didn't have the smoke alarms, we could have slept longer, God knows how long, you know. The fire could have spread, escalated, and we might have woken up to flames coming up the stairs. You never know, do you? You don't know how it's going to escalate. So, yeah, that's very, very important that they were working.
Despite the dangers posed by fires like this, new data shows here in our region 9% of people don't test their smoke alarms. And campaigners say too many homes don't have one at all. 1 in 5 accidental electrical fires recorded in the last 2 years had no smoke alarm fitted. Fire crews like this one from Royal Berkshire, based in Caversham, are regularly called to electrical fires, particularly caused by items plugged in and left unattended.
The most common cause of fires in the home is generally electrical fires, so don't overload plug sockets. Make sure that your electrical goods are unplugged when not in use and unplugged overnight, or if you're out or going away. And really importantly as well, don't connect extension leads to extension leads. We call it daisy chaining, and there's a real risk of overheating electrical circuits if you daisy chain electrical extension leads.
This week is Electrical Fire Safety Week, which campaigners say is the perfect time to get into better habits for checking smoke alarms.
So this is your standard standalone smoke alarm, and this battery will last a year or so, and it's important that you replace that when that battery goes low.
And those ones, they're a sealed unit, aren't they? What does that mean?
So you fit this smoke alarm and you never need to change the battery. You still need to check the smoke alarm once a month to make sure it's still working, but you never need to change the battery. And after 10 years, the sensor will have reached the end of its life and it's time to replace the whole unit.
So this is our wedding from 2022.
Back with Jamie, he's relieved it's just possessions that he's lost, all things that can be replaced. He knows how important having a working smoke alarm is.
Monthly, weekly, as often as you can. You know, it takes a few seconds. Get one of them steps so you can reach to the ceiling or wherever your smoke alarm is and just press it. It's going to save your life.
Good advice. Now, plans for part of the vacant Debenhams department store at the Oracle in Reading is to be demolished and replaced with flats and office space. Those plans have been approved. The council wants to build 218 units at the Riverside site. The store closed permanently in May 2020 and didn't reopen after the pandemic.
Now you're watching ITV News Meridian, where we are not talking about the rain because Holly is bound to.
Well, it'd be rude not to. I know you were drenched earlier, Matt. Is it going to last? I'll tell you shortly.
We know the answer. And remember, you can find more from us by going to our website, itv.com/Meridian. You can call us on 0808 1010 095. Remember, you can also follow us on social media. The fallout from the Peter Mandelson scandal and growing questions about Sir Keir Starmer's judgment is the big topic of debate on tonight's edition of our monthly politics show, The Last Word.
Well, to tell us more, live now to our political correspondent Kit Bradshaw in Westminster. Kit, the Prime Minister could be in some real trouble over this one.
Yes, Matt, the drip, drip, drip of allegations and revelations this week is turning this into the worst crisis of Sir Keir Starmer's premiership. The tipping point for many came yesterday when the Prime Minister admitted that he knew when he appointed Lord Mandelson as ambassador in Washington that he had continued a friendship with Jeffrey Epstein after the American was convicted of child sex offences. Here's the take of my panel on tonight's Last Word, MPs from Surrey, Buckinghamshire and a Hampshire mayoral candidate.
If we think of the victims, what does it say to them when the Prime Minister of this country, who purports to be on the side of people who've had sexual abuse, actually appoints somebody who's a friend of a convicted paedophile? What does it say to them? And I think that's shameful. And my personal view is Starmer needs to go, and he needs to go soon.
I do think there needs to be accountability. I think for me, ultimately, the guiding principle, the guiding question has to be, are we doing right by these women and these girls who have frankly been abused and trafficked and treated in ways that no woman should ever be treated in? And that's what we've got to get right.
I've known Peter Mandelson since we were at university together, and I have to say this was a death foretold. If you look at the rap sheet, if you like, that Peter Mandelson had from before, he's been sacked twice. He was definitely a wrong 'un when he was appointed ambassador. And I suspect the government thought, look, he's got really oily skills. We need them in Washington right now. But of course, with oily skills, there's always a downside.
Lord Mandelson has denied criminality. Sir Keir Starmer apologised to Epstein's victims today. Much more on that story on the ITV Evening News coming up shortly. In terms of The Last Word, we'll also be debating Suella Braverman's defection to Reform UK and whether the assisted dying bill could be about to fall in the House of Lords. We're on after News at 10 tonight, slightly later on ITV1 because of the rugby, but you can watch now on ITVX.
Kit, thank you.
A community group that helps blind people in Hampshire keep up with their local news is celebrating its 50th anniversary next year.
The Andover branch of Talking Newspapers is manned by a small group of volunteers and they need more help. Their listeners say the service is a lifeline. Here's Penny Sylvester.
It's time to decide what's going to end up on the cutting room floor. The Talking newspaper is preparing to go on air.
My first article today is pothole safety.
Mum scoops £5,000.
We come to the sports news.
Every week the editor scours the Andover Advertiser and selects articles to make up the broadcast run order, always allowing space for the regular sport and entertainment slots.
If there has been a really unpleasant incident, we have to report it and leave it in, because otherwise you're putting people in a bubble, and you don't want to do that. You want to it's the real world, they've got to know. But I think to make sure that they know all the good things that are being done in town.
The recordings are sent to registered listeners on USB memory sticks, and they're played back using a special audio box.
Andover Talking Newspaper 2026.
And for some listeners, they're a lifeline.
It opens your life up, because you've got access to things that you know nothing about, any of the events that are going on in the world, and it just opens your life up.
It's the newspaper's 50th anniversary next year.
I was a soldier before I joined them, so I'm used to service. For me, this is providing a good service to people who want to be looked after well, and if they feel good for having read the paper each Friday, then I think we've done a good job.
A community project helping those who can't see well discover news in a different way. Penny Sylvester, ITV News, Andover.
Now, he was runner-up on ITV's Britain's Got Talent, and he's now on stage bringing his incredible blend of magic and comedy to theatre audiences.
Jack Rhodes is in Newbury at Arlington Arts on the 25th of this month with his magic and comedy tour.
What are you doing? I'm doing a card trick, I'm showing off all my skills and that.
No, only thing you're showing off is how much of a Billy No-Mate you are.
No, honestly, it'd be dead good. I'm going to do that move. You know that move where you do all the fancy cuts and then you flick one card from the left, and then you catch it in the right, and it's Simon's card.
How's that working out for you?
That was the warm-up. Here. How's that?
Right, yeah.
Jack's with us now. Jack, welcome. Now, you were such a big hit on Britain's Got Talent. Did it change your life?
Oh, genuinely life-changing. I mean, yeah, the whole thing was a whirlwind. Made it to the final, didn't win it, came second, not bothered. Prize money's only £250,000. It's not worth getting out of bed for, is it? No, genuinely life-changing. I mean, I quit my job off the back of it, became a magician, and now I'm doing this full-time. It's amazing.
Although some of the biggest acts don't win. Susan Boyle didn't win.
Susan Boyle, yeah.
One Direction didn't win X Factor.
Correct, yeah. Maybe,
so, you know.
Yeah, who knows? Next Subo, maybe.
You could be global. Now, look, in terms of what you did before, is this right that you were a nuclear engineer?
It sounds made up, doesn't it? That sounds like I'm making... But yeah, genuinely, I was a nuclear engineer. I worked on a team that put the uranium in the reactor. And in dinner time, I'd do tricks for the guys in the office and in the reactor, and I'd get told off for messing about when we should be working. But yeah, then I decided to do stand-up comedy for a while. Did the comedy clubs up north, and then I just got this bug. And when pandemic hit, that's when I decided to commit to making videos online. And then I just really got a taste for that. And now I'm a magician and a YouTuber.
And that's what makes you different as well, because your magic is combined with comedy as well.
Yeah, it's like being unemployed twice, isn't it? Magician and comedian. If you go to the job seekers and tell them you're a magician and a comedian, you'll get double money. That's
or
true.
as your dad describes it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Here we go. Part-time wizard, full-time moron. That's me. The irony now is I'm a full-time wizard, full-time moron. But yeah, that is my dad's description. I've been brought up in a family that we don't take ourselves too seriously. And so when I was a kid and I was being really obsessed with the magic stuff and taking it very seriously, I got taken down a peg or two. To the point where my dad was so worried about me because I would spend 8 hours at a time practicing my card tricks in front of a mirror in my bedroom. My dad was like, you need to go outside and go ride a bike, go do something normal because this is unhealthy. But from that, right, he would always take the mickey, but from that has been born this comedy meets magic stuff, so yeah.
And it's still an obsession, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I spend a lot of time practicing, and now it's my wife who calls me the full-time moron, so yeah, it's come full circle.
Do you mind if we ask if you could show us a little something?
Do you want I've prepared something just for you two.
Go on.
Are you up for it?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Now this takes a lot of concentration, okay? This is a trick that I prepared just for tonight, and I'm going to not talk through this. I'm going to be completely silent throughout the whole thing. Here's a little poster.
Recognise him.
And I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be completely silent. Because if I talk throughout this whole thing, it'll put me off, right? So I'm going to be completely silent. You're not going to hear an absolute word. You're not going to hear a peep from me as I do this. Because if I start talking while I do it, I'm going to get something wrong.
That's fantastic.
You know what I want
really
to see?
Good.
I want you to tell
I don't know what you want to see.
The bottom half, you wouldn't say that.
That was
amazing.
Thanks very much.
I know that's just a taster, but thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we have to plug your tour.
Yes.
And you are going to be in Newbury on the 25th of February at the Arlington Arts Centre.
I cannot wait, yeah. It's going to be a lot of that, comedy mixed with magic. You don't have to be a fan of magic, just if you're up for a laugh, come along, and I cannot wait.
Thank you so much, Jack.
Thanks so much.
Just move on.
Now, the UK's largest indoor pickleball and paddle venue is opening in Farnham.
They're two of the fastest growing sports in the world, and Hurlands has 9 pickleball courts and 5 paddle courts.
Doing really well. At the centre in Farnham for us is Andrew Pate, and there's no stopping paddle and pickleball then, Andrew.
Absolutely right, Sangeeta. Paddle is the fastest growing sport in the UK. It's trebled in participation in the last couple of years. And pickleball, which we can see here, is also growing rapidly, up 65% in membership over the last year. And somebody who knows all about that is one of the brains behind Hurlands, the largest in the UK. Why?
Well, Andrew, about 2.5 years ago, my mixed doubles pickleball partner and I decided that we wanted to build a club to give everybody the opportunity to play and try out the two new sports, pickleball and paddle, because they're both so addictive, and we wanted to make it accessible to everyone so that there was no blockage of membership. It's pay and play, everybody's welcome, and we're going to roll out that model across the southeast of England, led by our fabulous chairman, Phil Newborough, who is so experienced.
A quick lesson for us then. What is the difference between pickleball and paddle?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that because I get asked this question every day, but paddle is more like squash. It has walls that surround it, so tennis in a squash court, and pickleball is played on a badminton-sized court, and it's more like mini tennis, up and down.
So who's playing pickleball with us right now?
So here we have the Hurlands team, some of the Hurlands team. Andre, my co-founder, up the other end with Flynn, who's a pickleball coach. Ellie, our national champion, is a pickleball coach, and Richard Love is our manager and also the over 50 national champion.
And you know what I'm going to ask? Can I have a go?
Of course, I'd love you to.
Yes. Right, as we make our way over to the court then, can you tell me what makes a great pickleball player?
A great pickleball player is one who concentrates more on control rather than power. But the fabulous thing about pickleball is that it's accessible to everybody, all ages, all abilities.
And has it all been worth it, Sally?
Yes, it has. We're so thrilled with our club.
And I know it's been quick, but how do you think I'm doing?
I think you're doing absolutely brilliantly. I think gold medal by the end of the year.
Oh, so close. I'm going to carry on training then, because Sally is right. I can feel that gold medal coming my way, and I can see why pickleball is such a hit.
Hang on, who unleashed John McEnroe in the past 30 seconds?
Do you think he's got a body double?
I don't know.
I didn't know he had such good skills.
I think he's got a competitive streak, I know that much.
Oh, he definitely has.
Andrew, thank you very much. We'll leave him to it. I'm slightly scared by
He's really good at that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, Holly is with us now.
Holly, the weather, we're not happy.
Oh no, sorry. Well, I'm going to start with the news that the University of Reading have said they've officially had their wettest spell of weather on record, 25 consecutive days of rain, which is the most they've seen since records began in 1908. But moving on from that cheerful news, I was looking today for something to capture just how miserable it is at the moment, and I found the perfect video on Instagram. Take a look.
Yes, this was me this morning trying to get my steps in. I may have mistimed the storms ever so slightly. It was pretty grim.
Well, you know, credit to you, Matt, I have to say. Although
Style icon.
I did enjoy your comment underneath about how this forecasting malarkey is a bit harder than you thought.
Yeah, all right, I will concede. It is a little bit. It looked fine when I went out, but there we go. Anything more cheerful for us? I have got
something a little bit more cheerful, OK? It's not so much weather related, but we are now exiting what's known as solar winter, so the darkest 3 months of the year. I've got a little graphic to try and explain it a bit better. So around the 21st of December, the winter solstice, you get your darkest 3 months, and then you get your lightest 3 months around the summer solstice. So today is the day where we just start edging out of those darkest 3 months. Our sun gets stronger, if we ever see it, and higher in the sky. And oh, sorry, I don't know where that photo popped up from, and yeah, it's all a move in the right direction at least. So it's cheered me up, and it got me thinking, I wonder what's cheering everyone else up at the moment, because yes, it's wet, yes, it's gloomy, but what is making you smile? Let me know. Send me your photos to meridianweather@itv.com, and I'll try and show some tomorrow. In the meantime, let's get the latest on the rain.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
So yes, the rain continues in earnest. We've got a weather warning in force for southern and western parts of the region tonight and tomorrow, as this rain simply continues to fall onto those already saturated surfaces. And we've still got this same weather pattern we've had for ages now. Low pressure approaching the UK, getting blocked by an area of high pressure across Scandinavia and just having nowhere to go, so circulating around and delivering a lot of rain. And it also makes the detail tricky as well. So this is the warning stretching from West Sussex through southern parts of Hampshire, Dorset, southern parts of Wiltshire. That's valid through the rest of tonight into tomorrow as well. Also quite a lot of low cloud, mist and murk for tonight. Temperatures won't fall away too far. But we start tomorrow morning with some poor visibilities, really grey conditions, outbreaks of rain. Now as the day goes on, you might see a few bright spells coming through, but I suspect they'll be in relatively short supply. And some further lively showers are never too far away. Temperatures a bit higher than today's values, especially across the north of the patch where it was quite chilly for today. Now, these are our times of high water. So we've got Poole there at midnight 12 and again at 12:23 into the afternoon. And we're very much keeping this unsettled pattern into the coming days. As I say, the detail day on day is quite tricky to pin down, but basically at the moment there's no real end in sight to this unsettled look. We will, of course, keep you up to date with all the latest. Have a good evening. Take care.
TUI sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Reasons to be cheerful.
Andrew Pate playing pickleball.
Yes, and tomorrow it's Friday, so please send your pictures in. Holly's waiting for them. Just a moment here, it's Charlene with the evening news. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.